Yo, welcome everybody. Welcome. Episode 9 of the Mindful Mashup. Happy Thanksgiving to all my American friends out there. I know everyone's enjoying turkey yesterday and then cruising through the weekend now with full bellies. It's Black Friday, so we've been crazy busy down here, and I can see from all my emails that seems to be the narrative around the whole e-commerce industry. It seems like everyone's doing these mega sales, so that's awesome. I hope everyone's getting their stuff. Yeah, guys, I'm just letting people flow in here, and we're gonna do just me today, kicking it. We're gonna go through some frequently asked questions we get through the Mindful website and something I've been hearing a lot of different events and when I'm chatting with people about mushrooms and natural supplementation and stuff. So I'm excited for this one. Got some cool stuff to go through. Excited to talk stacking. When should we be taking our supplements? How do we analyze ourselves and figure out what supplements work for us? Yeah, so let's hop into it. I think one huge question that we get right off the hop is, I'm new to natural supplements. I'm on your page here. This looks great, but what the fuck am I looking at? Let's get a little music going here too. Yeah, that's good. Nice. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Yeah. So what am I looking at? There's all these different supplements. I'm new to this. How do I even integrate this into my life? Where do I start? Which is such a great question because it's super overwhelming, especially when we're coming into it. Because usually as humans that we are, we'll be coming into looking for health, not as a preparation as a forward looking into what's going on with our health, but we're doing it actually as I'm achy, I got anxiety, I got depression, my gut's all messed up, whatever it is, we're coming at that. So we're trying to work from the back. So we're trying to fix what's wrong rather than, prep to avoid these ailments to begin with. And that's what natural supplements and Eastern medicine is so beautiful at, is it's so much more in preparing the body so we don't actually face this and continuing and staying up at that optimization rather than going through these peaks and valleys all the time. So let's get the Mindful site up here. Yeah, I'll go through the stacks, so there's so much to consider when we're coming into microdosing, natural supplementation. One is what's our intention? Why are we coming to microdosing? What are natural supplementation? What's driven us here? What are we trying to fix? What tool are we trying to get to work along the way and better our lives? So when we ask ourselves that, okay, it's anxiety, I got low energy, and I'm dealing with some gut stuff. So that's a great place to start. You'd be okay. I'm looking at the Perform for energy and anxiety. The microdose of 50 milligrams is a nice microdose to help ease that anxiety, help open up those new pathways, and start trending on this right direction. And why these things are so important is when we're setting the intention and when we're going into this with intention and with goals, as we create these new pathways, we're also changing those thought patterns. So we're changing those aspects of our life. We're changing it in the health side of things, but also how we're thinking of things. So then that microdosing, it's helping neurologically, but it's also helping in the sense of we are doing the work, we're changing it, and we're making that growth. So that's what's so cool about it, because then it's a tool along the way, but it's you who's doing it. It's you who's come and you're you're making the changes, you're making the growth, and that's what this stuff's all about. So, and that stays with you. It doesn't matter how long you're taking that microdose. You don't become. What's really also cool about mushrooms is you're not relying on these. These are also working for you on your days off of your schedule, and then when you're off, but then also coming back on again. So lots of cool stuff. But something like that, we'd be approaching the Perform. Or am I having a morning coffee? How am I starting my day? The Perform's a great microdose because I'm going to get that energy from the cordyceps. I'll get that blood-brain barrier from the ginkgo, as I believe the cordyceps help as well. There's no actual scientific data to really prove that entirely, but helps with that blood flow, helps break that blood-brain barrier. Where the ginkgo helps, it actually contains niacin, so you're getting that stamate stack in that one as well. And then, but it doesn't have the lion's mane. So, but the lines, yeah, so to each their own. But so you're getting that microdose, and then you're also, where the stacking comes in is you have the option of the cordyceps. So even though we don't have a ton of Western data on cordyceps, lion's mane, reishi, and how these react in humans, we actually do. There are studies from Asia that show the dosages that have been effective, and there are starting to be more studies in Western medicine of dosages that have been effective in humans. So why the stacking can be really powerful. It's still like, this stuff's really new, guys. So like, there isn't direct data to this, but the stacking, in theory, what there is you're getting that appropriate dose of cordyceps to get the benefits of the cordyceps. So when you're stacking the Perform with the cordyceps, you're taking those two cordyceps that are taking you to the 1,200 milligrams of cordyceps plus the other 350 that are in the Perform blend, and you're getting to that 1,500 milligram dosage, where a lot of the studies are saying that 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams are when people are seeing the most effects. There's effects shown throughout the dosages, but where they're the most beneficial at their absolute max is at those 1,500 to 2,000 milligram dosages. So the theory with stacking is you're getting to that dosage to get all those effects from the cordyceps, and then you're adding in the effects of the microdose. And something like the Perform is really cool, like I said, because you're getting the ginkgo in there, and you're getting that niacin reaction too. And then, like what we were talking, so there's, and in through that, a lot of times anxiety and stuff will be from the gut. So when we have an unhappy gut, it actually directly corresponds to our serotonin and dopamine systems. So that can be a huge proponent of being unhappy, feeling tired, feeling lazy, feeling these things, because we're not getting the proper energy from our gut. We're probably not eating the best, but something like the immunity is going to help boost the immune system, help clear out the gut and create that healthy bacteria again. And something like this too, like this is when you're also setting that intention of, I'm going to be eating a little healthier. I'm going to be drinking a little less. I'm going to be adding these things, so I'm giving them the best shot to work. But so something like that would be why you would go for like a body bundle, because you're stacking and then you're mixing in the immunity with that. Where, and the next question arrives a lot is when do I take them? When do I take these supplements? And that's a bit of a tricky one, because we're all different. We all have different daily routines. We all have different jobs. We all have different heritage. So even our heritage, there's some interesting studies that talk about if where your lineage is from, your body type is gonna perform better on certain foods than others. So someone from the prairies is more likely going to be a little bit more used to wheat, carbohydrates, these root vegetables, right? Like someone from the Greek islands is probably going to be more used to that Mediterranean diet. So it really depends on the person. And what's cool about this, because it's again us taking the opportunity to talk about what's really going on for us. What are we trying to fix? And we're taking the power back in our hands, instead of being like just talking to the doctor, this is what I need and this is how it fixes it. We're actually taking the responsibility for ourselves and getting to know our own body to create the change and create the awareness. And that just continues to grow and compound as you keep exploring and start off on this journey. So we've seen that a lot with people now over the last year, with as they've stuck to it, they've set these intentions, they start to see that effect, and the snowball starts to go the other direction rather than just kind of compiling on top of you, right? Like, so what time of day, when I'm breaking this down for myself, I wake up early, I have my morning breath work and movement routine, and then I do a cold dip and a hot shower, and then I'll start going. So I usually don't go to sorry guys, go to, what's going on here? We got a little bit of a lag. Okay, I think I got that fixed. Yeah, apologies. So then I will be looking at, and then I start my day with a lime and a pinch of pink Himalayan salt shaken as a that one I got from Aubrey Marcus's book, I believe, but that's a way to charge your system, charge your cells. So you're going to be taking in more water more readily. It's basically just like a morning Gatorade to start the day. And then I'll go into my coffee and I'll take my supplements with my morning smoothie. So when I'm starting my day, I'm having my microdose, my cordyceps in the morning with that kick, with that coffee. But everyone's different, like I say, like, so then I'm moving around and stuff like that. If you're working in construction, this might be a bit different. If you're working in an office and you actually find that you're pretty awake in the morning and you don't feel like you need the energy kick per se, but it's really after lunch, when you get back from lunch, you've had a nice lunch, maybe gone for a walk, but you're feeling a bit full and you get that kind of afternoon lull. You're feeling a bit tired. So something like that, it might work on the flip side. It's better to take those in the afternoon, start your day off with an immunity, and then you're charging and you're helping your gut as you come into the day, rather than where I'm taking the immunity after lunch. So you got to work it out and figure out what works best for each of us, and how this mixes into your daily routine. This comes with trial and error, right? And also, don't be stuck on, this is what I got to do all the time. I think from what we've come up with, we get kind of brought up with that, but it's not necessarily that way all the time, right? Because our bodies are shifting. We're shifting through the seasons. We're changing. We're doing different things. Maybe we're more active in summer. Maybe we're doing, we're kind of chilling out more in winter. So we don't need as much energy per se. And maybe it's more just that immunity, keeping that immune system up, some lion's mane. And maybe we're doing more reflection. So we're looking at more a stronger microdose, but maybe not so often. It's really reflecting on where you're at and what's going on and tuning it appropriately. And this comes with trial and error. This comes with giving yourself the space. And I understand that can be definitely difficult, especially when we're going through times when we're getting this overwhelming anxiety. Everything's piling up. We're feeling really stuck. It can be tough. But that's where, there's so much resources online. We're always there to talk to people, and don't be afraid to talk to people about it. The more and more this stuff's becoming mainstream, there's more and more people taking mushrooms, more and more people having different experiences. So then you also get that cool data where it's like, this worked this way for someone, that might work that way for you too. Or maybe you're like, no, that didn't work that way for me. I'm gonna this is what worked for me. And they're like, oh, interesting. So you get that ability to start connecting with your community. We have a beautiful community on Instagram and stuff too. So anytime you want to talk about it, just reach out to us or reach out to other people on the comments or the chat. And it's a great way to do that. What I'd love to get into too is I've been talking with some really beautiful people, entrepreneurs. Gianna from Wakeful Travel, she makes these beautiful integration journals. Let's bring her up here. Go through this a little bit. And what's cool about this is then when you're taking, you can use this as a guide for your macrodoses, for your microdoses, but also for, well, this for travel too. But like if you're reflecting on your day or and you're setting in your intention, a great way to do that is through writing that down. What is my intention today? And you're really being mindful about how you're approaching that. And then you're also, you can start to log what supplements you're using and experience how that's helping you and where you kind of, maybe you felt off a little bit still, and you can start to tweak it and you can see in your journal how that's changed. And that gives you that ability to really have that log of it. And it really creates that intention and that connection with yourself as you work through it. I have the journal here. I'm gonna give her a shout out, but yeah, they're gorgeous. I'll leave the link in the description. I think we're gonna be doing some work together in the future, and for anyone, this would be an awesome Christmas gift. But what I love about it is it has so much takes info in it. Like it says all these little key things around the journey around your journey wisdom. And this can be for journeys, but in my opinion, can be really incorporated into your whole routine, right? Like, yeah, this one, sorry that I got the wrong one here. The 6-week intentional journey. They got these beautiful things around color therapy and everything else. Evolving your practice and discovering your intention, which is something I really loved. I didn't actually plan to bring any of this stuff up, but I just got the journals today and they're wicked. So I really wanted to give her a shout out and say how awesome they are. And point people that way before the season if we're not able to figure out anything in time. But the discover your intention is so huge, because that loops in with your supplementation, microdosing or not. This intention is so powerful. So I really love what she's done here, and something like that gives you the ability to reflect, and then also, like I say, log when you're doing these supplements. And I'll link that in there so everyone can go check that out. But it doesn't, even if you don't want to get a specific journal, just having even your own book, something like that gives you this log, this way to journal in the evening to like I say, just reflect on it so you can tweak it yourself, because that's where the power is. We all have that power to design our own. And then there's so many beautiful resources nowadays too that allow us to talk, and that's why we love chatting with the community so much and connecting, so we can assist any way we can, but also empower the person to figure out their routine. What's the next question here? How frequently should I cycle my supplements? This is one that came in through the chat. This is a great question, because this we have the schedules from Stamets, from James Fadiman there, from the studies they've done, and these are a great format to start from. We have actual data from this, so we're able to see how this has helped people. It gives that ability to be like, okay, this is a great starting point. But it also still has the flexibility of tuning it into what works best for you, because sometimes 5 days on, 2 days off can be a little overwhelming for people. It is for me personally. I do 2 days on, 1 day off. Seems to work the best for me. And then you run that through 4 to 6 weeks. I like to do 6, take 2 weeks off, and then go for another 4, and then flip it. But I've been using natural supplements for a really long time, so I've really been able over the last 10, 15 years to tweak and see what my body needs in the time. So throughout the seasons, and that's what works best for me. But everyone's different, right? Like we talked about. And the other one is the 1 day on, 2 days off. This is a great one as well, because I really believe in this, that it carries over these effects, and you don't use them, and it continues to have that effect even days you're not microdosing. But that's what's cool about stacking and using that. If you were to stack with the micro with lion's mane, you can continually take that lion's mane dosage, which is helping with that inflammation, helping with that nerve growth factor, on the days you're not microdosing, and that's carrying it over. And then you're also embellishing those effects in theory. So that's, again, to loop back to the stacking, while it can be so powerful, is you get to integrate this into your routine on days you're not microdosing as well. So then it becomes, it evolves the whole process, and it becomes, So, and then with natural supplements, you also want to give these supplements time to work. Like, these are nutrients that we don't readily get from food. So we also want to give our bodies time to adjust, and they'll help. And it actually is amazing how quickly these supplements seem to be starting to help people. Like with the Happy Days, which is a blend that is, I feel so grateful everyone's really enjoyed. And that's an ashwagandha base, but almost equally cordyceps, lion's mane, and holy basil, and then black pepper to enlarge the cell and take in those nutrients. And it has been really cool how quickly that has shown people seem to feel those effects. That same day, they'll say, I got this amazing energy, I got this uplift, but it wasn't aggressive. It was still blissful. It was a very blissful experience. And so that's always really cool to hear, because, some of these supplements, they'll take time to work, and you got to give your body space and time to adjust. It doesn't just happen overnight. I think something we're really used to, especially in our multiverse world, is that if things happen right now, things come the next day. Like, we also got to give ourselves space to grow into this and grow through this, and give our bodies the opportunity to work for themselves. And the effects happen pretty quickly. But with the natural supplementation, giving it that, I had read a study recently where they're saying 6 to 8 months, but again, these vary, and you really, as you get more familiar with it, you'll really tune into yourself. But I like to give it, a minimum 4 to 6 months, and then I'll switch. And depending too, if you're integrating other things in with it, like if you are maybe taking lion's mane, but then you're feeling like you really need to shift to some ashwagandha, and you're using your ashwagandha instead in a bit, and like, you can really use it as you feel into it, feel what you need, and that's the best way to go about it. I know it's not the most scientific answer, but from what the studies say, giving it the most opportune benefits come in that 6 month range. So it's good to cycle it that 4 to 6 months, cycle into another natural supplement that you need in that time period. And how that may look is like, you've been doing the lion's mane for 4 to 6 months, but you're now looking, it's time to cycle into something else. So switching into the cordyceps, and or maybe just time to take a complete break and using something like the immunity to keep that immune system up, and you're feeling really good, and or maybe something more root based, like a maca or something like that. really depends, and it really shifts as we shift, right? So it's something to analyze as you go, and or if you want to keep going and you feel like you need to keep going on lines, man, because it's just that bomb for you. That's cool too. Yeah, let's get back to the site here, and we can chat a few other questions around the stacks. You'll see some of these are mixed in with some teas. The teas are really beautiful. These are teas that are designed to be an experience, more of a one-day experience, like a one serving dose. It's a gram of psilocybin mushroom, and then 4.5 grams of tea. This fits great in a teapot or a tea bag if you're doing self-serving, but it's also beautiful to experience with friends or a partner, to have in that 2 to 4 people. Then you're getting that, like you're taking an Inspire. It's a bit of a higher dosage, but you're not macro dosing. You're getting that bit lifted enlightenment. You're getting the feeling of colors, maybe a bit more feeling of connection. It can be a real beautiful way to connect with friends or partners, family members, and explore that. Maybe instead of doing wine night, I know my partner and her friends really enjoy doing a teapot. Instead of wine night, you get that same connection, maybe the same giggles. It has the ability to get silly, it has the ability to get deep, but you're not getting that Wednesday morning hangover. You know what I mean? Which is something I think is coming up so often now, which is hilarious. Not hilarious. I think it's very, very known and needed. It's just how impactful alcohol can be on our systems, especially as we come into our 30s, 40s. These start to affect us more and more, and just the scientific proof that just even having 2 drinks a night, a drink a night, really wears on the system. So if we're able to find these other ways, these other avenues, it also helps with that anxiety. It also helps with that, and that, again, all being these other tools to help play into the overall well-being. And I think that's something that's really interesting about it too. As we carve these new pathways, we're creating these new experiences. We're changing the way we do things, and you're breaking that default mode network, which is huge, right? And this is huge in our process, huge in our shifting. So that's a really interesting one to check out if you guys want to check out a different way of experiencing time with friends, going deep yourself. It's a great way to go inward without going on a full blast off. And that, like I say, everyone's different. Feel free to ask anytime. We're always around. And around to help find the routine for you, the supplements for you, and how it all works. For all the Goo crew out there, everyone on Twitch, we got the Goo 15 for 15% off. Go check out Mindful Meds today, though. We got 30% off, I believe. Everything on the site. Black Friday. Woo! It's all going. It's going to be a big day, I think, of savings for everyone coming into the holiday season. And again, great gifts, right? Like if you have a friend or a family member who's like been interested by it and you think this could help them, it'd be a great way to do. Maybe get them a journal, get them a bundle, help them start off. So once people start, it's amazing to see how much it shifts, and then their thought patterns shift and how they shift into this next page. Is a great way to start a new year, a great way to kick some bad habits or start shifting into some things that you want to do. Not saying that there's any right or wrong way, but I hear that a lot of people wanting to make these shifts, they just kind of need that little push or that little bit of support, and that's a really cool way to do it. So we got here stacking. Another one here. Can I mix and match? We kind of briefly talked about that. That is totally fine with if you're, what I loved about the Wakeful in the intake portion of the journal, it says like, what's going on with your health. Check in with your doctor if you are seeing a doctor regularly or a naturopath, or if you are on supplements or medication. Like, you also want to check in with the person who's subscribed those to you, right? You gotta. So it's again taking responsibility for ourselves and figuring out how these fit in for us. But as far as the natural supplements and mushrooms go, they're really able to work in with us. And what, like I said, with the stacking, where I'm really believe for myself, is trying to stay at these dosages where they've shown to be helpful in these Asian studies and stuff, because you also don't want to just throw a bunch of stuff in and then you're kind of hitting a lot. It'll do a little bit, but it's nice to kind of focus on one and then shift in and out. That being said, like, there's so many options and so many ways to do that. So it's really no harm in mixing and matching if you feel like it's working for you, and then all the power to you, right? And it's discovering that for yourself. And like something for me that I'll cycle in and out is I'll cycle from cordyceps to maca, and then I'll use the maca as that energy, as that receptor ease of receptors for my cortisol levels and everything, and the energy that it gives. So I'm mixing that out for the cordyceps, where it's having that blood flow, that energy. So then I'll switch in between. But yeah, it really depends on the user and how that works. So yeah, one other one I want to talk about was yes, here it is. Sorry about that. Delix. So this is this beautiful microdosing app my friend Sam designed. We met out in Miami at the Wonderland convention. It's just gone live on iPhone. I believe it's free to download. This is a really cool way for you to log microdose. You can add in if you're using other supplements. We're working with them to do a more mindful focused app, which will be really exciting. The power in this, seeing how, and then you get to also see your trajectory. You can see how things have shifted for you. You can see, what's beautiful about it too is it gives you the opportunity to reflect, and you're like, why on Wednesday mornings am I always feeling angry, feeling frustrated, and reflect it back into your life. What's going on? And then you're seeing like, oh, I have a meeting with Greg Durkinson every Wednesday, and he seems to always set me off. What's going on there? And you get this indicator, right? So it gives you this ability, just like the journal, to reflect and really transform your life that way. So, and you also get to see how you've gone. You get to input your protocol, and it's right there on your phone. I'll add this into the comments and the description there, so everyone has that opportunity to go check it out. Tracks your progress, like we said, and you get to see the graphs. You get the dosing reminder, because that's the other thing, right? Like, I'm super forgetful. I'll always forget to journal or something like that. What I've loved about using this app, I get that reminder, hey, check in. So then I'll fill it out quick, and then I'm always getting those daily logs. It takes like 2-3 minutes, super easy. So it's actually pretty fun too. Something that I've come to really enjoy over the last couple of weeks. So yeah, check this one out. This is a great way to utilize all the different technologies that are coming out. There's so many beautiful what's the word? Beautiful resources to help us in this the healing journey, or as well as like doing yoga. I saw this app the other day called Mind, which is got these nutritionists, yoga instructors, meditation guides, and takes you, what are you interested in? And then every day they have their live chats, and I can just add that in the description too. If you guys ever want to reach out about stuff, again, reach out to us in the comments, in the chats, DMs, Tidio on the website, and can point you in the right direction, because it's a really cool industry right now, in the sense of people are doing some amazing things, so many ways to integrate it into our lives and find that way that works for us. All right, guys, sweet. I'm not seeing any more questions coming in. That's about all I had for today. Check out mindfulmeds.io. Get yourself a bundle. Get to stacking. That's going to be a great way to start the new year. Great for gifts. I'll attach the links in the description. We're going to have I'm really looking forward to the episode next week. We're confirming some dates, but we're going to be talking to some people doing some really cool stuff in the industry. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Come check us out next Friday. All right, guys. Peace.